Today, we're breaking down President Donald Trump's politically charged week and emerging priorities. The president spent days aggressively pursuing top policy priorities amid a turbulent national atmosphere. His administration vigorously defended its controversial immigration crackdown before several high-profile courts. Throughout the week, Trump's team reiterated the need for a stronger border control framework. Critics and supporters alike have been watching the legal battles with intense scrutiny. In a pivotal hearing, government lawyers argued the measures were essential for national security. Meanwhile, immigration advocates decried the crackdown as an erosion of civil liberties. The administration's strategy appears aimed at bolstering its tough immigration stance. Concurrently, efforts to overhaul the education department captured significant media attention. Officials moved quickly to reshape policies they claim have stifled reform in public education. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are debating the proposed changes vigorously. Many educators fear the revisions could undermine long-standing principles of academic freedom. The proposed reforms have sparked heated discussions about federal oversight and local autonomy. At the center of these debates is the administration's effort to redirect funding priorities. Experts warn that curbing the department's independence might have far-reaching consequences. In a series of interviews, Trump's senior advisors defended the restructuring as overdue reform. They argued that modernizing the department would improve accountability and performance. The president's stance on education reform has generated both optimism and deep concern. Some conservative voices support the bold changes as a necessary corrective measure. Conversely, many progressives insist that such rapid reforms risk harming vulnerable communities. Amid these policy battles, Trump has ramped up attacks on the country's legal establishment. The president's rhetoric has grown increasingly combative in discussions of judicial independence. Critics say his comments undermine confidence in America's long-standing legal traditions. A conservative former federal judge recently warned that Trump's tone is declaring war on the judiciary. This sharp criticism underscores the deep polarization gripping the nation's political landscape. Observers note that such language may have long-term implications for public trust in institutions. The former judge's remarks have ignited fierce debate among legal experts and commentators. Supporters of the president argue that his attacks are aimed solely at an overly politicized system. They claim that the judiciary has overstepped its bounds in several landmark cases. In response, opponents insist that judicial independence is a cornerstone of democratic governance. Throughout the week, social media platforms exploded with reactions from all corners of the spectrum. Hashtags and trending topics reflected a nation divided over Trump's bold policy moves. Political pundits have warned that this week's events could reshape upcoming election debates. The president's assertive approach has energized both his base and his detractors. Analysts suggest that the administration's legal and policy strategies are closely interconnected. Each decision appears designed to solidify a legacy of transformative, if contentious, reform. Behind closed doors, advisors strategized on navigating the backlash from the judiciary. Discussions reportedly focused on preserving the administration's momentum despite mounting criticism. Meanwhile, congressional leaders have begun crafting responses to the president's latest moves. Bipartisan meetings indicate that lawmakers are exploring compromises amid intensifying debates. Some senators expressed cautious optimism about potential reforms to the legal framework. Others remained skeptical, warning that aggressive tactics could further polarize the nation. As the week unfolded, media outlets provided round-the-clock coverage of every development. Journalists detailed the complex interplay between policy, law, and political messaging. This politically charged week, marked by contentious reforms and fierce rhetoric, leaves the country watching closely.